Have you ever felt stuck? Not physically stuck, but mentally stuck. It's that feeling of wanting to do something, needing to do something, but being completely unable to start. It's like being glued to your chair, staring at a blank screen, while a voice in your head lists all the things you should be doing. This feeling has a name, and it's not just laziness. It's sloth, and it's one of the most misunderstood and deceptive traps our minds can set for us. Imagine this. You're sitting in the most comfortable armchair ever made. The world outside is bustling, full of opportunities and experiences. But in this room, time seems to slow down. You're just sitting there, staring at a TV that isn't even on. The silence is heavy. As you sit, you start to notice something strange. Little threads, like cobwebs, are beginning to form around your ankles, tethering you to the chair. The longer you sit, the thicker they get. The air in the room grows dusty, and all the vibrant colors of life fade into a dull, muted gray. This isn't just a scene from a movie. It's a powerful metaphor for what sloth does to our lives. It wraps us in a deceptive comfort, making inaction feel safe and easy, while slowly draining the color and vitality from our world. It convinces us that doing nothing is preferable to the effort of living. But why is doing nothing so exhausting? It's a paradox, isn't it? You haven't moved a muscle all day, yet you feel completely drained, more tired than if you'd run a marathon. This is the burden of inaction. Picture a person standing on a path. They're not walking, not running, just standing still. But if you could see what they're truly carrying, you'd see a massive, invisible weight on their shoulders. This weight is made of all the tasks they've postponed, all the dreams they've put on hold, all the I'll do it tomorrow promises. With every moment of inaction, this invisible burden gets heavier, pushing them down, making their feet sink into the ground as if it were quicksand. They are exhausted, not from doing something, but from the crushing weight of doing nothing. Every opportunity missed, every potential untapped, adds to this load. Sloth isn't rest. It's a state of active self-sabotage that drains our energy more than any physical activity ever could. It's the mental effort of constantly justifying our own inertia. So, what's holding us back? Often, it's a close cousin of sloth, disguised as a virtue: perfectionism. Let's call it the pride block. Imagine a sculptor, a true artist, standing before a magnificent, flawless block of marble. They have a vision in their mind, a masterpiece of breathtaking beauty just waiting to be released from the stone. They hold the chisel and hammer. Their tools are ready. Their skill is undeniable, but they don't make a single strike. Why? Because they are paralyzed. They are terrified that the first chip they make won't be perfect. They fear that the final statue won't live up to the impossible ideal in their head. The fear of making a mistake, of creating something that is merely good instead of perfect, freezes them in place. This is perfectionism in its most destructive form. It tells us that if we can't do something perfectly, we shouldn't do it at all. It's a form of pride that prefers the safety of an imagined, perfect outcome over the messy reality of trying and potentially failing. And so, the magnificent statue remains trapped in the stone, and the sculptor remains trapped in their own inaction. How many of our own masterpieces, our own potential achievements, remain trapped because we are too afraid to make that first, imperfect mark? This cycle of sloth, exhaustion, and perfectionism can feel unbreakable. It feels like a fortress with walls too high to climb. But here's the secret. You don't have to tear down the entire fortress at once. The key to breaking free, is deceptively simple. It's the power of one small action. It's not about suddenly transforming into the most productive person on earth. It's not about completing the entire project in one go. It's about making one tiny, almost insignificant move in the right direction. Think of a close-up shot, bathed in warm, hopeful light. A hand, perhaps your hand, reaches out and simply turns a doorknob. That's it. just turning the knob. It doesn't mean you have to walk through the door, run a marathon, and climb a mountain all at once. It just means you've created the possibility of moving forward. Or picture this, a wide expanse of dry, cracked concrete, a symbol of a life that has felt barren and unproductive for a long time. But in one of those cracks, a single, tiny green sprout is pushing its way through towards the sunlight. That one small sprout holds all the power and promise of life. It's a testament to the fact that even in the harshest conditions, growth is possible. That is the power of your first small action. So what does this look like in real life? It means instead of telling yourself you need to clean the entire house, you just pick up one piece of clothing off the floor. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the thought of writing a whole book, you just write one sentence. Not one page, not one chapter, one sentence. Instead of planning an elaborate workout routine, you just put on your walking shoes. That's it. These actions are so small they feel almost ridiculous. Your perfectionist brain can't even argue with them. It's just one sentence. You can tell it. It's just putting on my shoes. There's no pressure for it to be perfect because it's so small. But here's the magic. That one small action creates momentum. Picking up one piece of clothing makes it easier to pick up a second. Writing one sentence makes the next sentence feel possible. Putting on your shoes makes stepping outside the door the next logical step. These tiny victories break the spell of inertia. They send a signal to your brain that says, hey, we're moving again. We're doing things. Each small action is like a single push on a very heavy flywheel. The first push is the hardest and seems to do nothing. But the second is slightly easier. The third, easier still. And soon, with consistent small pushes, the massive will begin to turn, building a momentum that becomes almost unstoppable. The trap of sloth is that it makes us focus on the enormity of the mountain ahead. It tells us the entire journey is impossible, so why bother taking the first step? The cure is to ignore the mountain. Stop looking at the summit. Look down at your feet, and just focus on taking one single step. Your goal isn't to climb the mountain today. Your goal is simply to lift your foot and put it down in front of you. That's an achievable goal. Anyone can do that. And when you do, you're no longer the person stuck at the bottom. You are a person who is climbing. The identity shifts. You are no longer someone who is paralyzed by inaction. You are someone who acts, even in a small way. This is a profound mental shift. It changes the narrative from I can't to I just did. And from I just did, it's a very short leap to I can do more. Remember, overcoming sloth is not a one-time battle. It's a daily practice. There will be days when the comfortable armchair calls to you, when the fear of imperfection whispers in your ear. On those days, don't fight a war. Don't try to summon superhuman willpower. Just aim for one small action. Make your bed, wash one dish, send one email. Let that be your victory for the day, because that one small act of defiance against inertia is everything. It is the green sprout through the concrete. It is the turning of the doorknob. It is the first chip in the marble that, over time, will reveal the masterpiece within. You have that masterpiece inside you. Don't let it stay trapped in the stone. Pick up your chisel and just make one small mark. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content on living a more intentional life. See you next time.